Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. Masters Bangkok is just about to get underway, but big drama going down last night, certainly in the North American Challenger side. Tarik getting dragged into the matter as well, but also some SCRIMBUX yesterday with 100T's roster apparently absolutely demolishing whoever they were playing last night. Very much interested to your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Plenty we're going to get into today, starting with Masters Bangkok. There is going to be a show match happening on the, 2nd of March, shortly before all the grand finals and everything, and TenZ is going to be there. So I thought this is pretty cool, looking at what show match they're putting together here. Basically, Team Thailand versus Team International is what they're going for, and TenZ will be featured. So thought that was a really cool thing. I know that there was lots of, I think even Kaido was in the reply saying, yeah, please go pro again, miss cheering you on. So it's something that TenZ, it might not be completely out of the realms of possibility, right? Certainly TenZ has talked about it, he's thought about it, whether he could come back. Whether he should or would, or whether Sentinels would need him, that's another question. But we talked about the viewership for the kickoff the other week not being as high. Part of that is probably the TenZ effect. This, to me, was the tweet of the day yesterday. So, Durka was talking about being frustrated with not playing the game is kind of broken over there, it seems, in Thailand right now. He can't play with the skins that he wants to, and he wasn't very happy about it. Boaster, of course, being from home, he said, wow, my glitch pop's looking really good right now. Wow, is that a Recon Phantom? Ooh, so nice, right? Because Durka's not getting to experience that. But then Durka says, Thai food's so yummy and spicy, because, of course, Boaster ain't there for the event, whereas Durka is. Former teammates now on Vitality, and to be fair, they could make a serious run, I think, Vitality this tournament. The big drama of yesterday, though, as that there's always some drama in North American Valorant. This time it's in challenges, and it was the following. So SR, they got rid of Brock, right? Well, didn't get rid of him, but he was poached effectively by NRG, and they decided to bring Monsi into their team. They needed a leader, so they got Monsi and they brought him into the roster. Now, this has caused some questions just because, as far as some are concerned, Monsi wouldn't necessarily be top of list in terms of potential leaders to sign. So Jake, of course, former Cloud9 Jake, and he's, continually playing to this day, said the following, obviously laughing, crying emoji or whatever, all your boys need to eat, I guess. So what he's very clearly implying here is that this decision has been made on the basis of what we might call a friendship league, as in they've not necessarily chosen the best player for the position, it's more so they've signed, their boy who they know and they get on with well. And there's some merits to either side of it, right? Obviously, you want your team to get along, right? Like, in an ideal world, though, you make your teammates your friends rather than making your friends your teammates. That's usually how the best teams are formed. You put the best possible players together in that position, and then you become friendly with one another if and when that's possible. Another approach, though, is to not do that and just sign a guy who you get along with well. He might not be the best fit, but is it going to benefit the team? Possibly, right? Like, there is benefit to what they might call the friendship league, because if the team gets on well, it's maybe likely to succeed better than it could otherwise. But equally, if decisions are not being made on a meritocracy, that is probably a bad idea in the longer term. So anyway, it's always how it is in sports and certainly in esports, and Jake is making the implication that Monsi was only signed because he's friends with the guys on the roster. So Weeded says, wonder who this could possibly be about, and therefore there were some serious replies. So there was some discussion, of course, about this roster, and Jake says this, could have DM'd Physic, Stellar, or Poppin. No trials for any of those three at any given point is extremely criminal. No hate to the people on Blinn, I think they're solid, but every single player should have a fair chance in the trials, and that was not the case by any means. Blinn, the team that Monsi was formerly on the roster of, I think they're solid, etc, etc. And, this is pretty, I don't know, Agility, what do you think about this assessment, right? Because he's saying, oh, well, oh no, they gave their friends the spot rather than my friend the spot. It's so unfair. But Jake says, look, that's not really how I meant it. I'm not close to Poppin at all. Not even a DM, though, is criminal. And also, my friends have destroyed all your friends every time we played them. So I thought that was pretty funny. So it was all popping off here. We got all the replies. And it kept on going, really. Because, Weeded then came into the discussion as well. Jake says he says it like it's a good thing that people who have got literally been getting smoked for the last 4 years got a trial, while the people who have been doing the destroying for the last 4 years, didn't even get a message back. Not bitter I didn't get the spot. Spouse was better than me at the time, and obviously they continue in the discussion as well. Then Stella got added in it and all this type of stuff, and it was all popping off on the timeline. But yeah, I guess the point is that Jake at least believes Monty got this spot on SR Black because he's boys with those guys, and the guys that should have at least been trials, they weren't even given the chance to, potentially. Even as Trick says, I never have been given the chance to trial for a single team in my entire Valorant career other than Heretics. The game is super gatekept and connections mean more than skill. There were points in my career where genuinely no unsigned IGLs were even in the same ballpark as me, but they all got trials before me, and I'm talking about tier 2, tier 3 trials, not even tier 1, not even bottom of the barrel tier 2 teams that I would beat over and over again would even give him trials. This is part of the reason I lost passion for the game. And yeah, look, everyone knows in life, and certainly in a game like this, connections are massively important. And even as Chet says, no one even wants to do the interviews or the hard work anymore to see if the candidates are worth it. They'll just sign their friends. And it's interesting because, look, is Trick right that it's kind of unfair about the gatekeeping of the game and the fact that other in-game leaders and other players are getting opportunities over players that deserve it more? Sure, in terms of talent, but also the players know and the players realize and the players need to understand that networking and connections is a massively relevant factor and always, frankly, will be. If you don't maintain or build or grow those relationships, it's going to affect your career, whether it's fair or not. This is simply the reality of the situation. The players that maintain their circles well, they're the ones that always get the new opportunities. As I say, whether that's fair or not, that's a question. But it is the way that it is. So Weeded says, that being said, the only reason I want M80 is because I know people. Thank God that I do. Even as Leaf goes on to say, seeing all this drama, at the end of the day, connections mean more than anyone could possibly imagine. So yeah, I think that's the takeaway really for many of us. Now, the drama continued yesterday in Tier 2 Valorant on Tarik. So there was this tweet coming out of Icy's girlfriends who said the following: I thought that supporting Tier 2 means supporting all the games, not just the one you pick and choose and get paid to watch. Now, I mean, look, I'm not really going to comment too much on this. I just thought it was kind of funny. The point being made here is around Tarik. So Tarik watch parties the VCT games, and, you know, he will watch parties, select other games in Tier 2, but mainly the Sentinels game, the Qubit Academy gamer. That's usually what I watch. He won't watch everything in Tier 2, and fair enough. I mean, like, watching Valorant the whole time, all of the Tier 2 games, is quite the challenge. I don't think he should be forced to, of course, and ideally the product itself that, you know, the VCT are putting out for Tier 2 should be good enough that Tarik isn't required. But yeah, Tarik was kind of commenting on this as well. So there was a bit of drama on it, really. I don't know if you guys think it's fair or not fair, but Tarik was getting embroiled in some controversy for not streaming all the matches effectively, basically, in Tier 2 as well. But, you know, it shouldn't be all on Tarik to help grow the scene in the game. Could he do better? Sure. But also, like, you know, he is just one streamer at the end of the day, and he can't, you know, if he doesn't want to stream all the time, he doesn't have to stream all the time.
Are you going to support the Tier 2 community by watching Rankers versus TM in 10 minutes? No, fuck the Tier 2 community.
So, what's the plan?
It's like, that's an annoying ass comment. Are you going to support the Tier? Are you going to support my dick?
Seconds, then I stun and we swing.
Sure, yeah.
Hella annoying comment.
We send somebody that. Yeah, dude, I tried.
I don't think that's a crash out. That's a manipulative way to ask that question. I agree. It's so annoying. That's why I'm tweaking. It's so annoying. I don't know if that was his intention, but it's so annoying, dude.
We're the best.
And also, is it really on Tarik to, like, support Tier 2 when that's kind of what Riot are meant to do? And I'm not really sure they're doing the best job of that. Let's talk, though, about some of the SCRIMBUX and the way that things are going into Bangkok. Of course, it was, well, some of the interviews and stuff that were done to the professional players. Everyone was meeting up. I thought it was kind of nice to see Bayan and Zeltis. There was also this yesterday. So Tanmay, who's been right on some things and wrong on others, he was the first to report that NRG had got rid of Verno and Bonka, which they did. He then reported that Bonka was going to Fnatic, verbal agreement. That didn't happen. And indeed, they confirmed yesterday that they have signed on Doom Bros and Milan being promoted to the head coach. So, you know, he wasn't right on that. And then Tanmay yesterday says that Gen.G have benched Foxy9. Now, this was being seen in some scrims yesterday, but Foxy9 disagrees with this assessment. He said the following: nothing has been decided, calling it a benching and making it look official. What are you talking about? And then he actually did a tweet to say, this is the first time that I'm learning about this. Am I guy on the bench without even realizing it. So it's kind of interesting, really, because it was noted that Foxy9 was not in their scrims yesterday, and they are up 11-2 in whatever scrim without Foxy9 in the team. But Foxy doesn't seem to believe that he's been benched. So either he was stepping out for some other reason, or he wasn't aware that the team was scrimming with that. I don't know, like, it's kind of confusing, right? But according to what Foxy says, he hasn't been benched because he would presume that if he has been benched, then they would have told him, and they haven't told him. So that's what's kind of confusing about this whole situation right now. I feel like I've seen this happen before, and then the player actually does end up getting benched. But yeah, intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. But these are the SCRIMBUX that I wanted to go through. Gen.G without Foxy9, 11-2 up. And then 100T, they played a couple of interesting ones last night that were noted. I don't know who they were playing here. It could have been anyone, and they could have been a bad team. But they were up 18-0, the 100T roster. So maybe they are making some serious progress. That is not impossible behind the scenes. There was also this one, NRG, the new NRG squad, of course, with Brook on the roster as well. Interesting decision, I guess, to get Brook in terms of what they wanted from the team, but I guess they feel like they've got enough firepower already, hypothetically, and obviously Verno wasn't working with the team. They did release the full podcast, by the way, NRG. They didn't really say that much more than we'd already seen about the Verno thing. They didn't mention the Bonkar thing really at all, which probably implied that at the time they recorded it, Bonkar was not yet 100% gone. So I'd still love to know a bit more detail on why Bonkar is gone. But anyway, NRG are up 13-10, and then it was 14-10 seemingly over Evil Geniuses. 100T also played Lev, and they were up 12-7. So you know, potentially another decent result brewing over there. But also we know that it's not historically been the best scrim team, Leviathan, let's be honest. And they also played Furia, and it was a tight one. This one was actually 11-10 to Furia at the time. So yeah, definitely intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Lots happening in the Valorant world right now, but hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.